Now all out there was only one thing left to do.
It's always ice cream o'clock when I'm fishing, especially when it's sunny. Well, sort of sunny.
The afternoon dragged on and there were very few signs of any carp. The lake is hard and we knew it. Long periods of waiting was inevitable.
Every day at the lake, evening food would be served at the lodge, and as that time approached, I made the decision to stay with my rods, as I had a funny feeling.
Yes, Al, that's your stomach saying it's time to eat.
What were you just saying, Spoons?
Son. Feels like an eternity waiting for it, but we are in. We're away. Such a nervy time when you hook one here. It's really hot. It's not the sort of time you'd expect to get a bite on a deep lake, but believe me, on this particular venue, sometimes I've had some of my best action when it's absolute red hot roastio. And this reel's going for it. It's hard to say what size I think this fish is, but the venue gets its name for a reason.
There is nowhere else on the planet that makes me feel as nervous as here, as you may only get a few chances and the potential of an absolute Goliath is very possible.
It's down the margin now. Just down there. Come on, darling, be good. Make my nerves a little more controlled. Tongue's coming out. Come on, baby. That's it, mate. Here she comes. Yes. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in. Yes. Have some of that. That's a lovely fish. Oh, yeah. Yes. Absolutely yes.
On hand to help weigh the fish was one of our production crew members, Gary. Yeah.
That is shot past 60 pound. It's bottomed out these 60 pound scales. It's sitting on 61.2, Gal?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, 61.2. Yeah, well done, mate.
Well, I thought it might go 50. It decided to ignore the 50 pound status. It's rocketed into the 60 pound bracket.
Word on the street, Al's got a 60 pounder, a fish called the giggler, and we were heading over.
There you go, what are we saying then?
Oh, mate. Look at that.
What a start, eh? Give my fish a kiss.
Wow.
You do the same. Absolutely buzzing.
Well done, Al.
Team photo? Yeah.
Too right.
Go on then. Sweet, sweet.
Seeing a fish like that for the team is such a massive result. I'm buzzing for Ali. A 60 pounder is a huge carp, bigger than anything I've ever caught. But knowing the stock of the fish in here like I do, I know there's about 20 fish that are even bigger than that one. Just spurs me on to want one for myself.
On the way here, we were talking about possibly catching a 50 pounder as a target, but to have smashed that with a 60 pound fish on the first day, what's the target now? 70 pound?
And as the sun went down on an unbelievable day, all Ali's hard work seemed to be paying off.
It seems like things have taken a real turn for the better. We've just hooked into another carp.
It was my middle rod again on the deadly D-rig that snared my second carp of the trip, weighing in at 30 pound 12 ounces. It was crazy to think this fish was only half the size of the one before. The carp carried on their feeding frenzy as Tom was also into his second carp of the trip.
Another one in the net.
A mid-20 pound mirror carp was Tom's reward, and as the night carried on, Spooner was up next.
Hopefully, another big carp attached.
Another decent carp landed for Spooner, and with only a few hours left till the sun was up, Spooner retained the carp for the morning. But over in Dovey's swim, he was up again and into his third fish.
It was very hard to tell how big the fish feel here, but this does feel relatively heavy. Actually shaking. My legs are shaking. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. Yes, yes, that is an absolute corker.
The next morning, Spooner and Dovey were up early, getting ready to see the fruits of their labour.
Look at that. I am in absolute awe of that fish. There's a fish named Alcatraz and one that I've stared at a picture of many times on the wall at the clubhouse. 44 pounds 4 ounces. If I'm completely honest, this is one of my favourite fish in here. It's one of the best I've caught, even though it's not the biggest. What an absolute cracker. If I could have written a start to the session, it would be exactly this. I always say that if you've caught by the second night, you're laughing. Now it's the second morning and I've caught 3 and the fish are slowly getting bigger, so we're on point.
Next up was Spoons.
There we go, £39, an absolute cracker, my biggest one so far. I love it when it all starts coming together.
With a successful week so far, I wanted us to come together and do some all-important bonding. A bit of relaxation, and what better way than a little creative painting session to focus the mind.
Is this a competition or is this just an emotional release?
This is just an emotional release.
To be fair, if it's a competition, after the last one, I feel like if I paint the Mona Lisa, I'm still coming last.
This is fun, isn't it?
It is, actually.
Do you paint with your kids and that, Spoons?
No, I use paintbrushes.
To say we got into this painting malarkey was an understatement. With us all nearly finished, it was now time to do the grand reveal.
And this is reflective of my mood as of the time of painting. All right?
Okay.
The name for the piece is Ali Ing, Ali Yang.
Okay.
Okay?
It's actually... Is that all of it?
All of it.
Okay.
The left side of the face
Yeah.
is happy, and the right side of the face is a little bit confused and down.
Okay.
That looks deep.
That is deep. I didn't think you were that deep. I actually thought you were a really happy man.
Are you ready?
Yep.
To have your minds blown? What are you saying?
That's brilliant.
That's actually pretty good.
I'm well pleased with it.
I haven't been painting that long, but this is... What do you reckon?
You've not just drawn that now?
Yes, I have.
Have you really?
Mate, that is an incredible talent.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I knew you're so good at stuff. Oh, I love
My
it, man.
God.
I actually like that.
Cheers, mate.
It's really starting to worry me now, Mr. Dove. From making pastries now to art, is there anything he can't do? There's no way he knocked that up in a few minutes. That was unbelievable.
I really enjoyed that, but the best thing about it is that Ali has genuinely gone back to his swim thinking that I'd done that painting. I'm terrible at art, really, but I just got my mate to do it, and I had this as backup, but it looked a bit sinister, so I didn't bother with that one.
With the fun and games over, it was back to fishing. We may have caught a 60-pounder, but we knew that this lake holds carp to over 80 pounds, and I had an idea of how I could target one of these giants. Baiting little and often is a great tactic to try and entice a bite, and using a higher percentage of boilies to maize is a proven way to catch bigger carp, something I was doing more than Dovey and Spooner, and I believed this would give me that little edge. And with everyone's traps now set and bait levels topped up, it was back to waiting and sleeping. But while everyone was again preparing to go for dinner, I was determined to sit it out and hope for a similar feeding pattern to the previous day. You're only ever one bite away from being a hero. And sure enough, large plumes of bubbles started to appear over my left-hand rod. Could this be it?
Yeah, we're on. I was seeing fish start fizzing up over my left-hand area and weren't really seeing much activity on this middle one. They're all on the same rig and everything now, so I was thinking it was going to be the left-hand spot, but the same rod that's done the other 2 bites has roared off, and as you can see, it's a very, very angry carp on the end that is currently on a mission at a very fast pace to get to the middle of the lake. Every bite on here is worth its weight in gold, and I think this is quite a good fish. It feels heavy. Yeah. I'm gonna start lifting up now, see if I can get it off the bottom. This is heavy. Heavy and slow and very ponderous, and it's making my knees jangle. I can't work out if it's got weed on its head or what, but it's coming back ever so slowly. It's a long way out, that fish. I'm just back to my marker, unbelievably. Locked up at the minute in weed.
The carp had buried itself deep into the weed, a telltale sign on this lake that it was big.
Right,
Without taking any risks to try and free this carp from the bank, I would have to use a boat. Could this be the fish that beats my personal best that stands at 70 pounds 8 ounces?
It's usually big fish that weed you up in here.
We're back in action. Oh, that's massive. Oh, my God. This side, go. This side, go. Yeah. Oh, that's big. That is big. Go on, gal. Go on, gal. Go on, gal. Yes! Woohoo! Cheese-a-rama.
Is it bigger now?
I don't know, mate. It's a big mirror. Reckon it's upper 50, probably another 60.
If you think it's that big, it's bigger. Class.
It's relief, elation, everything, all mixed into one landing net. And this is without a doubt one of the known fish. I couldn't tell you which one it is. I'll leave that to the boys, but Monge 2, Rodders. Monge 2.
We're well into our French carp adventure. We're all catching carp at a steady rate, with Ali's 60-pounder, the Giggler, being the cream of the crop so far. But not content, we battled on and Ali hooked into another fish, and after a nervous battle, landed what looks like one of the lake's bigger residents.
Yes!
But which carp is it?
So let's have a look at it, Al.